Context. A new colleague, around 30 years old, joined the company 3 weeks ago. Big company, around 1,500 people at our location alone, and I caught him staring at me. 27 years old, from afar 7 times at least since. The first time I talked to him, we were having coffee with my team and laughing about losing our jobs to AI, and his first sentence to me was, "I know it's a joke, but I'm sure a beautiful girl like you would have no difficulty getting settled in a different profession." I'm pretty sure he didn't mean to say, "Hey, you'd make a decent hooker," so I ignored the remark and he seemed to take the hint for a while and left me alone. Then yesterday, we were having coffee again, and he came up to us. The conversation went like this. Him: "Hey Nina, do you want to grab lunch outside today?" Me: You mean with the team?" Him: "No, just the two of us." Me: "Oh, I'm sorry dude, but I'm not looking to date right now." Him: "I didn't mean as a date, just a casual lunch between colleagues, of course." Me: "Yeah, still gonna have to decline, but thanks for the invitation anyway." Him: "Seriously, I just meant it as a work date, strictly on the clock, haha. I'm not going to try and hit on you, I promise." Me: "So you don't mind if Kelly and Ryan join us then?" Him: I was really just hoping to get to know you better. I'm new and I've had lunch with several other colleagues alone. You don't have to assume it's a date." Me: "Name 3 people you've had lunch with then. Just the two of you." Him: "Wow, what is this, an interrogation?" Me: "Well, since you're trying to pick me up." Him: "I'm not trying to pick you up." Me: "And yet, I'm still not hearing the names." Him: "Look, I'm really only looking to do a bit of networking here. You don't need to make assumptions." Me: "Come on, dude. We're not VPs here. We don't hotsar asterisk network assault asterisk. I already said no, twice." Him: "You really don't need to be so defensive, you know. I'm just trying to build a rapport between our teams. You don't have to come at me with the 'I have a boyfriend' shtick. I didn't ask." Me: "Still waiting for the names." He got frustrated at this point and left. Now a few guys from my team say I was being too hard on him, either because he was being genuine, come on, or because I could have let him down more gracefully. One of them even said I could have just sucked it up and joined him for lunch. It wouldn't have cost me anything. I say it would have cost me my time, and that I tried to let him down the graceful way. He chose not to take it. Am I the idiot here? Now, here are the comments. Comment 1. Not the idiot. And wow, way to stick to your guns. He was 100% hitting on you. Sometimes doing the right thing is doing the non-harmonious thing, and that's what you did. Tell the other women at work about this. I doubt you'll be the last person he tries his good old boy routine with. Comment 2. Not the idiot, and I'd bet against your company's policy. It's okay to ask someone out once, but if they say no, that's it. Anything more is harassment. Good for you for sticking to your guns, and frick those coworkers for trying to make you the bad guy. Comment 3. Love dudes getting butthurt when you don't respond correctly to some guy refusing to hear a no. Really speaks well of them. Not the idiot. Now for the next story. I, 20-year-old female, have been living with my boyfriend, 26-year-old male, for almost a year, and he is a great person. However, we have recently been arguing because my boyfriend thinks it's unfair that I only cook vegetarian food. It started a few weeks ago when he made a disgusted face at the food I'd cooked. I asked why, and he said that he was tired of eating vegetables. He said I should start making food with meat in it. I told him that he could cook his own food, but he refused. His reasoning is that he works more hours than me, so I should be doing the cooking. I somewhat agree, but I don't think I should have to cook 2 separate meals. He's angry at me still, but I just don't think it's fair. Yes, I work fewer hours, but I still work. However, I can see where he is coming from. Am I the idiot? Now, here are the comments. Comment 1. How long would it take him to slap a couple of meat patties or a piece of fish in a frying pan, or a slab of flesh in the oven, before adding it to the meal you have already prepared? I wonder if the situation were reversed. Would he be willing to prepare 2 meals, or would he just tell you to pick the meat out if you don't want to eat it? He is expecting too much of you. Not the idiot. Comment 2. Is he unable to cook his own food? Does he need a girlfriend or a mommy? He can cook whatever he wants if he doesn't like what you cook. Simple as that. Personally, I don't eat meat and I'm not cooking or handling it for anyone. If they want meat added to their meal, they are more than welcome to make some separately and add it to their food. Edit. Forgot to add. Not the idiot. Comment 3. Not the idiot. He's 26, and if you weren't his girlfriend, then what? Would he just not eat? Will he run home to mommy and cry for food? Will he just eat takeout every day? If he doesn't want to eat what you cook, then he needs to feed himself like a functional, independent adult. Now, for the next story. I, 23-year-old female, was born to a mother that put me up for adoption, and I was lucky enough to be adopted by two amazing people who I consider my true parents. Recently, my biological mother found me on Instagram and contacted me, and we began talking until I agreed to meet her. Unfortunately, the meeting did not go well at all. I found out that she is a fruitarian, essentially she only eats fruits, and she began scolding me when I ordered a milkshake. Once home, I told her that I had not appreciated her trying to dictate what I should do when we are a little more than strangers, and that I am not interested in having a relationship with her if she is going to force me to adopt her lifestyle. She has since been apologizing and begging me to see her again, and my birth parents think that I should have handled her with more care, saying that meeting her in a place not involving food would help us build a relationship. Am I the idiot for wanting to shut things down so quickly? Now, here are the comments. Comment 1. This is so strange. She sounds different. I don't think you did anything wrong. By the way, some influencer just died on the fruit diet, so definitely don't follow her advice. It's totally your decision if you want to see her again. You don't owe her anything, and I wouldn't bend over backwards to meet her in a place without food. A restaurant or a coffee shop sounds like a good neutral location. My sister was also adopted and met her birth mother a few years ago. After a few meetings, my sister also decided not to continue a relationship because the woman had clearly not worked through all the issues she had regarding the adoption, and my sister found it very uncomfortable to be around her. She also tried to act like a mother to her, and my sister was not going to let that happen. Our mother passed away from cancer 10 years ago, and she made it very clear our mother was the only mother she had. My point is that you don't owe this woman anything. Do what makes you feel comfortable, not the idiot. Comment 2. This is an entirely personal decision. No one here should call you an idiot for making any decision as to whether or when you ever see her again. Your parents' take on this has merit and is a kind and generous way to handle this. But if it were me, I'd be thinking that was your first real interaction ever. And if that's how she chose to approach it, it's pretty much a huge red flag about her character and judgment that would definitely have me saying, yeah, I'm good, to any future requests. Not the idiot. Comment 3. I think you're right to identify her behavior as a red flag. If you feel weird about her, don't invite her back into your life. You already have two great parents. You don't need a third. It is not your responsibility to give your biological mother validation. You need to look out for yourself first. She is not entitled to be in your life. Now for the next story. I was invited to be in my cousin's wedding. Nobody, and I mean nobody in our family likes the groom. He's rude to her at family gatherings, sits alone by himself, criticizes her every chance he gets in front of her family, and is just an all-around bad fit for her. Her parents think this, my immediate family all think, and so does her immediate family. Last Christmas, a month or so after he proposed to her, we all sat her down and told her that it was a bad idea to follow through with this, and that he wasn't right for her at all. She was bawling her eyes out at the news of this. Leading up to their proposal, our family made it very clear to her that it wasn't a good fit. Nevertheless, they're getting married next year. My cousin is someone who has struggled holding a boyfriend her entire life, and I believe she finally lowered her bar so far to find this dirtbag of a fiancé that she can't imagine leaving him now that she's gotten this far into a relationship. Now for my issue. I'm being asked to be in the wedding. I've only been in one wedding before, not including my own, so I'm not quite sure how declining works. According to my sister, who's been in many weddings, I cannot say no. If I were to say no, I'd be insulting the bride, groom, both their families, and so on. She says if I am to decline, I'd be creating ramifications that include being put on my aunts and uncles' bad sides. Keep in mind, my aunt and uncle despise this guy. I asked my mother the same thing, and she said I could always decline and say it's due to financial reasons. But my sister says that's not good enough and that it will still create this detrimental divide between our families. TLDR. Am I the idiot for wanting to decline being in a wedding I and the rest of my entire family don't agree with? What's the best way to go about this? Now, here are the comments. Comment 1. Without knowing your culture, it is difficult to say whether it is socially acceptable to decline being in the wedding. In Midwestern white culture, it is absolutely not in poor taste to decline to be in the wedding party for a variety of reasons. That said, I would think about it deeply. From your description, this does sound like a bad decision, but if you are not supportive of her, you could end up pushing her away from her family, eliminating her support network for when she finally does realize that this was a bad idea. If this is a close cousin, she will need you by her side. Comment 2. Not the idiot. The way I went about declining was just saying, "No thanks, I don't want to be a bridesmaid." And that was for the wedding of an immediate family member, which I did approve of. Your cousin already knows her whole family doesn't approve of the wedding, so I don't see why you can't just tell her the real reason. Your sister's reaction seems overly dramatic. Is the only reason she's been involved in so many weddings because she thinks being a bridesmaid is like jury duty and you can't turn it down? Comment 3. Not the idiot. Honestly, I would decline. These days on Reddit, it seems that bridesmaids are usually asked to do a ton of ridiculous poop and spend a ton of money. That's maybe okay for a good friend, but not okay for someone you don't even support. Your sister can feel free to volunteer if she wants, so can your mom. But they don't run your life. Now, for the next story, I've already posted this, asking for legal advice but thought I'd ask for moral advice too. Last year we bought a historical property with a fair-sized chunk of land. The previous owners had run it as a small hotel but couldn't keep up with the pace at their age anymore. We turned the property back into a private residence. A main country road runs right by the longest edge of the unfenced garden. So we decided to plant hedges for privacy and to block off access in case my nephews visit and play football, etc. There is a small gardener's cottage right at the edge of this line, which was sold separately when we bought our home. We made sure to keep any bushes between us and them on our side of the property line. We were unaware that the elderly couple had sold the cottage to a relative of theirs and that he had planned to turn it into an Airbnb. We only know this now, as after a summer of growth, the owner had finally noticed the small hedge and realized what we'd done. He and the couple have sent official-looking letters stating we are impeding their reasonable enjoyment of the property, as they had planned to market the cottage as part of the property with views of a historical landmark, and once our hedge is full height, that view will be greatly diminished, if not almost entirely gone. So am I the idiot for potentially damaging someone's income by planting these hedges? Now, here are the comments. Comment 1. Not the idiot. The very reason you need the hedge seems to be the main enticement of the Airbnb. Their primary marketing strategy is to sit and watch you, to infringe on your privacy. They're perfectly illustrating why you need the hedge. To protect your privacy from the staring eyes of their guests. Enjoy your hedge. I'd put up a private property sign on their side of the hedge just to add a bit of salt, but that's just me. Or hang a big screen TV with a live cam of the local sewage treatment plant. Comment 2. Not the idiot. Unless they plan on paying you for your landscaping and upkeep of the historical property that you own. Marketing their property as being able to look at yours 24/7 sets you up to have your privacy violated. They know they don't have any legal leg to stand on, or they would have gone that route instead of sending you fake letters, which could be illegal depending on the context. Comment 3. Ha ha ha, no, not the idiot. Reasonable enjoyment of property doesn't include views, which is why property that can't be built out or have obstructed views is so valuable. What's more, you're absolutely entitled to privacy on your own property. No one else has a right to view you. If you like this video, you'll probably like these too. Also, while you're here, please consider subscribing. It's your support that keeps this channel alive and allows me to make better and longer videos. Have a great day.